Hi folks, Steven here. So this is going to be a recap of my time last weekend at the Pokemon Midwest Regionals in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So it's been a long time since I've been to a major Pokemon event, or really any Pokemon event. So it was nice to finally get back in there, but as usual, I have a presentation to go through, so we'll have some slides to sort of give our discussion there. This event, it was going to be in Milwaukee 2 years ago. Previously it had usually been in Madison, but I know they had a, scheduling conflict 2 years ago, and I guess they got a rain check on there. So let's see. Alright, Midwest Regionals 2022 was of course supposed to be 2020, and then it was supposed to be 2021, and now it's 2022, and events are finally back out there for Pokemon, so very glad to be back there. Alright, well, so yeah, I told you it was in Milwaukee. It was at the Wisconsin Center. This time I do have a new photo of it. This is the third time I've been to the Wisconsin Center this year, of course. Back in February, when it was much colder, I went to Anime Milwaukee and covered that, did a number of interviews there. Let's see, back at the end of April into the first day of May, I went to there for the Midwest Gaming Classic. That was just kind of for fun. So I was just doing that there. And then, once again, the Wisconsin Center. So, just a brief history. It has gone by different names in the last 10 years or so due to a rotating. It used to be named for one airline, and then another, and now it's just called the Wisconsin Center. But, it's in downtown Milwaukee near a bunch of hotels, so conveniently located. Let's see. Alright, so I left Friday evening. I took a bus ride. Now, you may notice, this is the same bus I used to get to the Midwest Gaming Classic back at the end of April into early May. However, it was a little darker in there. I decided I would take the late bus to get there. So I actually ate here in Madison that evening. And got to order in food here. So I just took the bus to the intermodal station, which is only a few blocks from the convention center, which is very convenient, of course. Excuse me, but a little bit of a different experience. Didn't really get to take that many photos, and sorry for using the flash there, but yeah, it was kind of the experience going there. So, same route, just a little bit different. Technically fewer stops, at least they're supposed to be. So yeah, relatively there. Got to my hotel and checked in and kind of went relatively straight to bed there. So that kind of worked out okay. Alright, Saturday was the first real day. There was some stuff on Friday, but it wasn't worth it for me. I didn't take the afternoon off or anything like that so that I could go to stuff there. Maybe next time I will, we'll see. But Saturday was the first day of real competition. Now I should point out, I'm not a competitive TCG or VGC player, so I spent most of my time on side events, but we'll sort of talk about the area and whatnot. Alright, well, just in case you thought that the Pokemon Company was not serious about its safety regarding the, situation that's been going on for the last couple of years, no, they had a pre-printed banner there that had all this information and legal disclaimers and all that fun stuff. Lists all that fun stuff. In fact, I do screen folks. I did have to show them my vaccination card, and I got a little wristband, which you can see right here. Having been through, it's been on my wrist for a while. I'm going to take it off after this, but I did want you to see that. So they took that pretty seriously, and people were very compliant with the rules. There were only a few people who had to be told. I did talk to someone about if they've had problems with previous events. And they said that at the earlier events in the spring, they did have to turn some folks away. There was very little of that at this point, but just a reminder, if you are going next weekend to Columbus, make sure you have your documentation in order for everyone who's going in there. So they took that very seriously, and I do appreciate that. A little different situation earlier in the year, back in February at Anime Milwaukee, there was a mask mandate, so that was imposed at the city/county level. So this one was the Pokemon Company itself. All right. So here's a sort of a wide view of the main area. It was held on the third floor of the Wisconsin Center. let's see, it was a pretty decent space. I could not tell you the number of square feet. It compares decently to the amount of space they would use at Manila Terrace in Madison when this was held there. They may have had to split some things up there, but you can sort of see right here is actually where a lot of the Masters Division tables. At any main Pokemon event, you're going to go to the Masters Division because they have better access to transportation and whatnot. It's going to be the largest age division. As you can see, a lot of folks, pretty much everyone has their mask on, at least they should. If you look way in the back there, they mentioned in their guidelines that they would have a dedicated concession area, and they did in fact have that. Little inconvenient because you had to wait in line for food and stuff like that, so not the best experience considering, you had to get screened every time you came in with your bag check as well. They're still doing those, which makes sense. So yeah, there's a kind of a wide angle there, but all the usual stuff is in there. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at some of the stuff in just a moment. Alright, so in the top left you can see this is one of the first years that they've had a Pokemon Go competition, so they had a bunch of stuff set up for that. You can see the Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos banners behind it for the 3 teams, and you can see some folks playing down there. So I'm not sure how many people showed up for that. I don't know if it was super well attended. Over on the right hand side you can see sort of the Judge Hive area where all the standings are processed and stuff like that, with a few staff members on there. And then in the bottom left you can see a number of medals or ribbons or whatever, gold, silver, bronze, for the top finishers in each competition that they were showing off there, or each age division. Not sure exactly. I have to take a little bit of close enough. But they have obviously a nice little Pikachu on there, and then the regionals emblem on there. So that gives you a loose idea of some of the stuff there. But it was pretty typical. They did have, for people who upgraded, there was a VIP sitting area where you could, for at least for TCG and probably for VGC, not sure for anything else. So they had that set up. Actually, when I got there, because I was mostly interested in side events, I knew I didn't have to be there till about a little before 10. But even though they had opened the hall at 7:30, they were only still finishing round 1. So this took a long time, I guess. That was, not my direct problem, but certainly something that sort of slows some stuff down. Alright, so moving over to close to the side events area, they had these Gachapon machines there. I didn't bother with them. Only 1 or 2 of them had some Pokemon stuff, but it was kind of a nice, neat thing that they brought in there. Always neat when you get some of that extraterritorial stuff. So that was a pretty cool find. Alright, but here you can see a list of the various side events that they ran. So they have kind of a variety of stuff. I was more interested in what's called the limited formats. Those are ones where you're given a certain set of cards or a certain group of cards to work with, rather than bringing your own deck or bringing your own team in the case of the video game. That was just kind of the interesting stuff I had. They also had a special Gym Leader Challenge on Sunday. There was a booster draft. I didn't do that one. But in any case, so mostly what I did were the pack battles, which you can see in the top left sheet of paper at the top there. And that's where they give you 1 pack of cards, and you build a 10-card deck with the cards in there plus basic energy. They allow what's called full mutant evolution rules, meaning any basic can evolve into any stage 1, can evolve into any stage 2, based on what you got there. And then all basic energy cards provide 1 unit of energy of all types. So that works out fairly well there. And then the other thing I was interested in was the, let's see, where is it on there? Build and Battle, which is basically the pre-release format, although, let's see, hopefully those are starting soon-ish. We'll see later this year, depending on how things go. But they still make the Build and Battle boxes, and that's where you get a 40-card deck plus 4 packs, and you sort of mix and match there to sort of enhance it a little bit. And then you play single elimination. The pack battle is round robin, so you got to play all 3 other people there. The Build and Battle was up to 3 rounds of single elimination, so that's kind of what we ended up doing there. As far as sort of the way it worked out, because in unlike at events where attendance caps and there are a lot more spectators, a lot more stuff gets going on day 1 a lot more quickly. In this case, because there weren't a ton of spectators initially, at least until people started dropping later in the day, what you wound up with is I had to wait a while for some of the stuff there. So what they did normally is actually you'd have to just wait around and wait for them to call up your event, but they used a little bit of a different system for this. I don't know if they've been using an earlier tournaments this year, where they have a bunch of short range. I don't know if they're technically pagers, if that's technically the name for them, but basically these little beep and buzz devices that you keep in your pocket, and then once your event fills up, they would buzz everyone's number, and then you would all come down and you would all take care of that. Really nice situation there, although hearing other people's stuff beep and not knowing and having to check if you were yours was a little distracting, but I did like this system a lot. I think it worked out really well, and I hope to see more of it in the future. Just really nice and convenient. They did say that, yeah, they can't guarantee it'll work outside of the main contest hall, so if you need to head out for any reason, they don't want you to stray too far, I guess. But that system worked very well, and I had a ton of fun. I got to meet a lot of nice people that day. We'll go more towards the end about some of the cards I pulled from the various things. So that worked out pretty well. Alright, well, in the middle of the day, actually, I managed to get some other stuff. So I decided to play some Pokemon Go. And a Mewtwo Raid popped up not far from the convention center, so I was able to, with the help of a few others, we were able to take down Mewtwo, and I caught it. Not my first Mewtwo. Not even a great one stat-wise necessarily, but it was very nice to get that. It helped me complete some stuff. I actually got through quite a bit, at least in terms of points and other materials there. Oh, geez, I'm really sorry about just feels like my shirt is a little dirty. Now you can't unsee it. Sorry. There we go. That's a little bit better. Alright. So, a little embarrassed there, but oh well. Alright, but that worked out nicely. I got a fair amount of go done, including a bunch of walking. I'm not sure if I cleared the 25 kilometers, but if I didn't, I came very close. Alright, so dinner on Saturday. That was the only night I was actually in Milwaukee for dinner, since I left late on Friday after dinner. So I bought some stuff from Flappers, Wings, and More in East, and this one was a bit of an ordeal. So it got marked as ready for on its way or whatever, and then it just wasn't coming. So eventually I had to call the restaurant, and basically no one had come to pick it up, and then I had to go through Eat Street to get that resolved. When it finally got here, the shake you see on the right, the strawberry shake, plenty cold, so they must have kept that in a fridge or whatever while it was going. The fries and the chicken were pretty lukewarm. I thought about microwaving them, but I was too hungry at that point. So maybe not a place I'll order the next time in Milwaukee. I'll try to find someone else. There are some other options out there for chicken and wings and stuff like that. Food itself otherwise was not bad. Alright, so let's move on to Sunday. So let's see, Sunday, a little more. Let's see, stuff there. Alright, so I had kind of a similar thing. I did sign up. Sign up started at 9 a.m. I got there right when they started and put myself down for another build and battle competition. And it took them a while to fill that one up. Several hours, actually, sadly. I had plenty of time to complete the very hard mode in Pokemon Puzzle League. Not actually, the highest difficulty is super hard. Very hard is one level below that. And spoiler alert, the last battle in that is Mewtwo in the very hard and super hard difficulty levels. But I had enough time to get through that with only about 30 continues. I don't know if you folks at home knew this, but if you actually look on GameFAQs, I actually wrote the FAQ on this game. Since it was a Western-only release, that's kind of why it was available. So, although my name is constituted, I don't claim to be an expert, but I seem to say I know a fair bit about it. You can see the background there based on the one from Mewtwo Strikes Back and stuff, although Mewtwo doesn't... The Pokemon and other characters look a little bit different than they did in the movie. I'm not sure who they had specifically drew the art for this game. Mewtwo in particular looks a little different than it does in the movie. You can still very recognizably Mewtwo, but not quite the same model that was used in there. Okay, but as you can see there, it only took me about a zillion tries. In any case, I did move on to some other stuff there. We did go through, like I said, a build and battle, a couple more pack battles, and eventually I redeemed my points that I had on me for a medal from 2019's regional, which was in Madison. They had some stuff there. So, yeah, overall I had a pretty good time, met a lot of great people, obviously gave out some promotional items. Let's talk about some of my pulls that I got from my packs from all of this. Well, let's see. So first off, on the left, Zekrom. Never really ended up using it, even though I got 2 of them over the course of the weekend. But it's got that, 2 colorless for 30 slash, which is pretty nice. It's got In riding a Zekrom. That is an awesome piece of art there. I really wish some of this stuff was available for, posters on the wall and stuff like that. I really wish they could do that. Because that's a really beautiful picture there. Let's see if I can see the Akiwa. I can't quite read the name on there, unfortunately. In the middle, we have Sock, which is a pretty good card for these limited formats. It's got that great 1 energy attack, 30 damage for 1 fighting. They've definitely buffed up the multi-prize Pokemon to sort of give them, to better balance the risk-reward there. For a long time, they were in a case where, whether it was EX or, Mega Evolutions or Max or, whatever, just were not, the risk-reward factor was just not there. And they've done a better job of balancing that out, especially in the last couple years. But the attack there, not only do you get 30 damage for 1 energy, but you flip a coin. If you get heads, you get to discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. I used that to great effect in a pack battle. There was a guy, we were really jealous right at the start because he got 2 V Pokemon. I don't remember if they were both basic Vs or if one was an evolved Pokemon or what. But he got those in his starter, in his 1 pack, believe it or not. And I was able to actually take him down there with a combination of using Sock, sweep the leg. I got a couple heads, so I was able to slow him way down, which was nice. Luckily, he had I think it's the Finneon one that has a 3 energy attack. So, and then I was actually able to evolve into a, Executor and just finish him off that way. On the right, you have Copycat. This is a bit of a new art. It's got Copycat dressing up. First of all, it's the gold silver, as Ethan, I believe, is his default name. I'm not sure who's in the top right, exactly who that is. Not sure precisely who that is. And then in the bottom right, of course, we have Marnie, and then in the top left, we have Leon. So really nice that every time they revise this card, every couple years or whatever, I forget how often, when the last time it was that it was printed. It originally came out way back in Gen 2, if I remember correctly. But they usually put in a couple new characters that Copycat is imitating, so that's really fun in there. Other than that, I did get a couple full arts, like the Acerola supporter, and the Marnie, not the regular Marnie, but the other one, I forget the name of it, but her supporter card lets you grab a energy card from the discard pile. A lot of energy manipulation, and of course I did get plenty of the build and battle stuff like Lucario and Infernape and Mothim / Burmy, and some of the other stuff in there. So that was pretty nice. But in any case, yeah, so after all this, I did go back home on the bus in the afternoon yesterday. I actually got to go on a double-decker bus that the company had. It wasn't especially full or anything. I guess it was just in their rotation or whatever. Okay. Overall thoughts, glad to be back. Glad to finally have some events to go to. The pager system at side events was a real big help. I'm hoping that we see more of that in the future. And mask compliance was very good as well, so people were very well behaved there for the most part. So that worked out pretty well, and so overall, I really enjoyed my time there. So, yeah. Alright, so a few more updates before I sign off for all this. Let's see, first off, Pokecasters Network updates, so some recent episodes. PokeScience has an episode called Get Schooled, so they're apparently talking about schools in the Pokemon universe. See, Critical Hitmonlee 64, back to the Forge again. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is up to episode 98, Krabby. And Not a Scratch, Arc 5, episode 0, Fixing the Timeline, spoilers for the series! So yeah, they're starting a new arc at Not a Scratch, so that should be interesting there. Now, as far as my podcast, I had hoped that I would be a little further along on getting the Pokemon 25, the album discussion, edited together. I've completed like a first editing pass, but I need to do another and record the voiceovers for the intro and stuff like that, and I don't think I'm going to have that in time for in the next few days, because this next weekend, of course, is North American Internationals in Columbus. I am going to that, so I'm going to be out for a little while there. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to have a lot of time this week to edit together stuff, so I have a feeling that's not going to happen until at least next week. So, sorry about that. Would have loved to get that up sooner. Additionally, our next music discussion, we don't have a specific date for that. That should be sometime next month, where we talk about Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia's music. But, yeah. Okay, well, that more or less covers it. So, yeah, definitely had a good time at the regionals, and I'm looking forward to more Pokemon events in the future. But, yeah, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and give us those. We always like to hear it. All right, folks, thanks.